What's up YouTube, COD4Man221 here, and I want to go over some of the change laws for Company of Heroes 2. Basically, we got a massive patch yesterday on the March 31st, basically a massive update, and in the background I have my first Company of Heroes 2 gameplay that was on my channel. This was actually during the beta when it became an open beta officially, so you can see a lot has changed. Even the commanders, you can see how they're lost in their 1 victory point, so that I'd show you a little bit of a old school Company of Heroes here. And then if you want to watch the actual gameplay with the commentary, that's part of Season 1. At the end of the video, I'll have my playlist. I'll have 3 links for you to click on, basically, for Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3, so you guys can kind of check that out. Anyway, let's get to the changelog here. Probably the biggest thing is they added a ton of new maps, so that will be quite fun. Let's go over some of the new ones. These are Relics created General Mud. That was, I believe, it was a Theater of War map that I remember playing. I think it was, yeah, I remember playing that's a Theater of War map, so that's pretty cool. We have Angleville, which is apparently a COH1 map, and now it has COH2 freshness with an exclamation mark. We also have some community maps. I think it's very good, the Company of Heroes. You know, we have very talented community here that can make great maps. Hill 331 was a community map, I believe. And the fact is that, you know, we have people that are doing this, and the fact that Relics actually incorporated in the game is such a big deal. So we have Paulov's House. We have some other ones like Wolf's Lair, Sitgard Summer. So these are going to be some interesting maps to play on. So there's a total of 5 new community maps, and they've changed some stuff on Hill 331, Min's Pocket, Moscow Outskirts, Slomisky Winter, Slomisky, and then Laglise. So they've changed a little bit of those things on those maps based on our community, which is nice to actually listen to the community. And they finally removed some maps. So they moved some maps based on our community and feedback. They moved out Face Off at Rostov. That took them long enough. Let's just be honest. I don't think anyone actually really enjoyed playing on that map too much. Um, the Forest, Hurtgen Forest, that has been removed, and Slomisky from 2v2 only. So that's now done. Um, it's a, I don't know, like I don't have a problem with that map from 2v2 perspective. The winter I don't like as much. It's interesting they're keeping the winter map. They're keeping the winter map, right? But they're getting rid of the summer map. I personally thought the summer map was a better map, the way the fuels are positioned there. Because in the winter map, we're going to see in one of my videos coming up here, the fuel is basically pretty open for both sides of the positioning there. And then by freezing over the rivers and lakes, the way basically the rivers there, it makes it pretty easy to go across. You know, I kind of like there's a little choke point. I kind of like being able to basically plan strategy and defenses around that. But you know, and also your guys freeze in if there's ever a blizzard on that map. So, oh yeah, they also had another major thing. Shallow water no longer offers a speed reduction penalty. So, in maps like we don't really have this map anymore, but Pripyat, one of my favorite maps. You know, the choke points, the fences, and stuff. Um, Basically, on that map, which is basically just shallow water, your men don't have to be reduced. You know, they can actually move quickly through it. Does that make sense? Now they've added a ton of balancing. Now they're trying to decrease blobbing, right? So there's been a lot of blobbing of the OKW. You've seen that in a lot of my videos and have U.S. Riflemen basically. So what they've done is they decide to. This is kind of weird. So first they decide to reduce moments that go against unit preservation. So they try to. It basically, it seems like they've got rid of one shots, squad wiping abilities, and high lethality. So they've kind of made it harder to wipe out squads, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're trying to get rid of blobs. And then we used to have the OKW trucks that would just, people would just send those in, and they would basically just ram through lines and stuff, and squads have to get out of the way. And now they've gotten rid of that, so the trucks can't like knock units out of the way, and they got rid of bugs of those apparently. So the truck, its armor's been reduced, its speed has been reduced. Now the flak base defenses, they can now shoot down aircraft. So like they've been able to shoot down aircraft before, but now it's been reduced to like half a percentage. Like I think it used to be like 1% or something. So they cut it basically in half. Both grenadiers now, this is huge. When they're vet 5, their accuracy has been removed. So basically they removed their accuracy from 0.71 at vet 5. So they added they also added a 0.7 cooldown reload for Vetracy 5. So basically they removed the extra accuracy they receive at vet 5, and it takes them a little bit longer to reload. Now, as a Panzerschreck, its FAR actually has been reduced from 0.25 to 0.20. So basically, it's going to be harder to hit with Panzerschrecks at further distances. Now, one I disagree with is the Obersoldaten. They've taken away their light machine gun, their MG34. Now, they basically said, basically with Volks, they'd add a couple, people would add a couple of these guys to their blobs, and to make their blobs, because they're very lethal against infantry, and make their blobs very difficult to players to react to it. So they basically now give you an option to upgrade the MG34 for 60 munitions, or to get the STG44. And they've also reduced the damage by both of those weapons. I never really had a problem with Obersoldaten blobs. I don't know if you guys did. Please feel free to leave some feedback in the comments down below. But basically, yeah, I didn't really see any real trouble with the Obersoldaten blobs, because those guys are 50 manpower to replenish. So like they were twice as much as a Volksgrenadier. And then the Raketenwerfer has it's basically able to fire. It's been reduced, so it takes a little longer for it to shoot. Not really too big there. And then they've added a mild suppression with the infantry support gun for OKW and for the U.S. howitzer. So those have a little bit of things. It is amazing. So the King Tiger, you know, I got a couple videos of that. Pretty fun to use, right? They reduce its armor from 425 to 375, and what this does is it basically puts it on the same level as an IS-2. Now, a King Tiger costs a lot more than IS-2, especially with the manpower. So they reduce its armor. It's still pretty deadly with its gun. They want to make sure, you know, they just took away a lot of the armor. I mean, late game, King Tiger's not invincible or anything, right? But it could be used quite effectively. It'd be kind of hard for the U.S. to counter with Jackson's late game, so I could see a little bit why they reduced some of the armor. But that seems like a dramatic 425 armor to 375, so they reduced it by basically an eighth of its armor. Now, we all know how much I love the U.S. Wolverine, so now we're moving on to the U.S. forces part of this patch change here. Basically, the health has gone up from 400 to 560. So if you think about it, they're harder to destroy now. Wolverines still suck. It's good they increased their armor, but their gun is weak. And so then we move on to the Jackson. They reduce its damage, and then they increase its armor penetration. And their AP rounds penetration has also been increased. So those, and I use the armor piercing rounds, its special ability to get at vet 1. Yeah, it basically is a whole lot more damage. And that's pretty good. I guess it's sad they reduced the damage, but I guess they made up for it with the penetration. Let's go to the Greyhound. There's a little bit of trouble with cancer shots. They basically increased the radius of it and added extra damage to it. Yeah, wow, they increased a lot of stuff here, and its reload is a lot longer though. Cool. So the mortar half track, basic stuff, you know, a little bit of damage increase along the way here. And yep. And then the Jeep, that I don't really see people use Jeeps anymore, but basically it has reduced with its machine gun. It has reduced distance. Basically the distance is increased for the medium, and then it's reduced for the far distance. And the damage has been reduced also. So yep. So basically, shooting at farther distance has been increased, so it's going to be harder to shoot. And then at mild, it's still been not mild. In the mid distances, these have both been increased, so you're going to have less accuracy. So Soviet snipers, I'm surprised they're touching the Soviets. Usually they don't touch the Soviets. Basically, they took away sprint, and now flares are granted at Veteran C1. So that's something, I guess. Sounds going to piss off a lot of people. The B4 howitzer, we saw Ambrose using those on one of my recent videos. Basically, they hurt it a lot. They reduced its range. The direct fire cost now costs 90 munitions. You have to be Vet 1 to even use direct fire. They removed precision strike, which all Soviet mortars and artillery have. And then they got rid of the damage bonus for Vet 3, 1.5 damage bonus has been removed. And also the but now Vet 3 increases by, the barrage by 33%, so they can fire faster, I guess, but they took away the damage. And then for Mother Russia, all the damage has been gone down to 1.5 for weapon accuracy instead of damage bonus. So you're not going to get extra damage, you're going to get extra accuracy for Mother Russia. And They touched the guard troops, which is interesting, I think. They basically increased the accuracy at short distance, medium distance, and far distance. And then the 120 millimeter mortar, it has extra damage now at medium, and near damage, it's been reduced. So if you're far away, it's going to do more damage. You know what? It's set. 120 millimeter mortar pretty much wipes out squads. So I don't really see the point in that by increasing the damage. So okay. Wehrmacht Pioneers got increased. No one really uses Pioneers anyway. I guess that's good if they have flamethrowers. So they got increased a little bit. Panzerschrecks, same thing. The action distance has been reduced. They gave the German sniper from 48 health to 82, so it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to kill those snipers, which is good because there's only one of them in the squad. You got to be careful. The armored car for the Germans got some more health. HMG, big thing happened. HMGs are great for countering blobs, especially the MG42. So basically, it's got buffs to its accuracy, especially far accuracy is now 35 from 14, and then the mid and near accuracy have been increased slightly. And then one of my favorite things, the Blitzkrieg, has been reduced. So now Blitzkrieg max speed bonus is no longer 35, it's now 15%. That's just for the Tiger and Panther, and the other tanks are still 35. But the acceleration has been reduced from 60 to 30%, and the combat blitz speed bonus has been reduced from 2 to 1.4. So that's pretty much the end of the change log. So they're adding a lot of stuff. I didn't really see a whole lot. The biggest thing I'm excited about are all these new maps. Can't wait to show you guys some videos on them, especially on more of the community maps. I'll try to get some of those up at some point here. But really, I really how they're listening to the community a little bit by getting these, maps not made by Relic. They're now in custom and auto matches, which is awesome. But the balancing, some of it makes sense. Oversedan, I don't think makes sense. King Tiger armor, maybe. But yeah, 112 millimeter mortar. I disagree with that. You should not have extra damage for the mortar that's pretty overpowered as it is. Especially those precision strikes, like wow, you got to be careful. And then Blitzkrieg, I never thought tanks actually went super fast. Like, I don't think a Tiger would go super fast with Blitz anyway, so I guess they're just reducing it even more. Panther, I mean, I use Blitz mostly to blitz backwards, like to get out of a situation. Pop down some Panzer Tactician smoke and just get out. But so they're doing some interesting stuff. They fixed a little bit of bugs. We'll see how this goes out. There'll probably be some kind of patch because something got messed up along the way in this massive update. But it's good. This is probably the biggest update since probably July 22nd last year, I think, where they added a ton of stuff. So we're getting close. Hopefully they'll add some more factions coming up. I think they would have announced it. Hopefully they'll announce one soon. If they're going to be doing it in June, they should announce it in April here. But who knows? I hope they do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this footage. You can see my the enemies in our we're in the enemies in our base. These Stugs are getting destroyed by my Su-85, and I have men falling back. Yep, good stuff. So you're going to see this full match. Feel free to check out Season 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go into the outro right here. And there's the seasons right in front of you. Cut from my 221 sign. I hope you enjoyed this quick patch update of the change log and kind of my opinion. Feel free to leave your own opinions down below. I'll be interested to see your own opinions of what their changes are.
So this is my goodbye. This is a sundown.